Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Um, Time to do day 15 through 21 of the Pink Eyed Bird Halloween Daily, or October Daily, I should say, challenge. Um, Last page that we did was page 14, and you guys look at this thing. There's no pot. Look at it's all bowed because I keep tying it together. It's gonna be like this by the time we're done. But it's mine, so it is what it is. All right, let's look at page 15. And I believe the prompt for this day was, did you see a pretty leaf today? And then you were supposed to pick it up, put it in your book, and journal about it. Well, I live in the woods in the fall, and my house is right in the woods. There are trees right over my house, right all along. I have an acre and a quarter of woods. So I literally went out on my porch. I found these two leaves. I found these leaves. Oh, I'm gonna have the sunlight problem again. Sorry, guys. And then here's my page. I'll tilt it in case the sun's being stupid. And I just journaled about a little, and I used a Xyron to encase these in plastic on both sides with sticky in the middle. So hopefully that'll help them to maintain their color, but I've never done that before, so I'm not really sure if it will. But anyway, that was day 15. Did you see a pretty leaf today? I am lucky enough to see pretty leaves every day in the fall. This year the weather has just, I don't know if it's the amount of rain we did or didn't get, how slow the temperatures came on, but we have had some spectacular colors starting, and it's just the beginning here in Delaware. So anyway, that was my day 15. Day 16, make 2 tombstone shaped tags and write 2 things you have conquered this year. Guys, I'm not going to read what I wrote because it's very, 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 very personal. But I really had a hard time thinking of things that I conquered. I had a really tough week. I had some really extremely bad things happen to me that I haven't had a week like this in a really long time. So this one hit really close to home. I was really feeling myself and not really feeling like I'd accomplished much of anything. At any rate, I did think of 2 things. I made 2 tombstones. I cut the tombstones out of cardstock, and I did some stamping and embossing with black embossing powder and a heat gun. And I really like the way they turned out. They're very textural, and I just cut these freehand and then drew around them with a marker. I'll tell you a little bit about what I wrote about. My family, the women in my family, when they turn 50, a vast majority of them get a female type of cancer of some sort or another, and I've not had one person survive it. I'm talking like, not 1 or 2 people, like most of the women in my family. And I'd been thinking about this for, 5 years. I turned 50 this year, and I'd thinking about 5 years. I actually had a hysterectomy 5 years ago because I was trying to circumvent this happening to me. And I turned 50 in March, and I felt like conquering March and making it past 50 and still feeling okay and still not having any signs of cancer was a big thing to conquer. So that was one of the things I wrote about. The other thing I wrote about was I have a little bit of social anxiety, and I tend to be a homebody, and starting this YouTube channel, even though I'm still at home and I'm still just talking to you guys via, video or what have you, it's kind of gotten me out of my shell. It's kind of gotten me talking to people, and I felt like I conquered that a little bit this year. Anyway, on the tombstones, there was a quote I really liked. It says, "Tomorrow is the most important thing in life. Comes into us at midnight very clean. It's perfect when it arrives and puts itself in our hands. It hopes that we learned something from yesterday." And I thought that was very accurate for the week I'd had. But I actually really like this page. So I was appreciative to April to make me think about some things that I hadn't really wanted to think about, but, did feel empowered after I thought about it. All right. Day 17. Do you have a favorite Halloween fabric or paper? I have a favorite Halloween fabric or paper about once a month. But this year in particular, I have been obsessed with this paper. And I don't know why. It's not even that exciting or graphic. There's just something about it. And also this ribbon and this washi and these die cuts. So I decided I was just going to use them all on my page. And there's just some sinister overtones about the handprint on this paper. This is where I wrote what I talked about each one of these things. But there's something about me that when I watch something spooky or scary, it's not the thing I'm watching that scares me. It's what my brain does with it later that terrifies me. My brain just will not shut off, and my brain is far worse than anything they could put on the screen. I know that sounds unbelievable, but it's true. You guys know how creative I can be. Imagine how scary creative I can be. Anyway, so this is the paper that I have been obsessed with this particular year for Halloween. And I loved this wire ribbon. And of course, black and white, can't go wrong, and skulls. So that is what I chose. And then day 18 was, who would you rather be friends with? Dracula or Frankenstein? So I did a spread that included both Dracula and Frankenstein. And here's my journaling card. And actually what my journaling card says that I really wouldn't care to be friends with either of them for different reasons. I mean, I feel like the monster is misunderstood, but I also would not want to try to control him, and I don't think anyone can. And I feel like Dracula is probably misunderstood in his own way, and I just, kind of, he's a little sneakier, in my opinion. At any rate, what I said was I chose to be friends with the Count from Sesame Street because I loved him. I think that's what started my creepy, spooky obsession as a child. And so I made a tag about the Count, and I put too cute to be scary. And when I wrote about him, I said I've adored his spooky, kind ways and his quirky personality since early childhood. So my choice was, if I really got to choose, would be the Count. Isn't he adorable? He just had also like some kind of sophistication about him that the other Muppets did not have. Anyway, page 19. Name one thing you would give out instead of candy. Well, I can't name one thing. I named like 4 things. At any rate, I did this had one of those little pages in the middle again, and I did non-candy treats on this page. And then here are some of the things that I've actually made in the past to give away as non-candy treats. Some lip balm. I made like Halloween labels and glued them to lip balm. And we made some bubbles. I mean, these aren't my particular ones, but these are where I got the ideas. And called them boobles, and put ghost on the lid, which actually, it was an adult party, so that was really funny at that point. But anyway, my daughter, for school, when she was little, we took like Halloween colored pencils from the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store or whatever was around here at that time, and we made pom-pom animals with googly eyes on the top and gave them all silly names and gave them out to our classmates because they weren't allowed to bring candy to school. And then this I thought was really cool as from a crafter standpoint. You buy those plastic test tube necklace kind of things, and then you take like pony beads and stuff and you fill them up. So it's kind of like a craft you can give out. So I thought you guys would appreciate that in particular. Isn't that a cool idea? Look at that. That's awesome. Anyway, day 20. 5 questions I would ask Dracula in an interview. And I had this little piece of paper from Interview with a Vampire, so I put it on there. My first question was, what do you think of humans living as pseudo-vamps? And then I, put a little bit of what I felt was vamp culture in current life. And I really would like to know what he think of that, because like when you watch shows that are about vamps, they kind of get torqued off or looked down on or think it's mildly ridiculous when humans try to assume, I don't know, cultural appropriation from the vampires, I guess. At any rate, that was one question I really was interested in knowing. Number 2, on Halloween, what would you dress up as? So if he were to actually dress up as something else, what would it be? Number 3, did you watch True Blood? I don't know why. I just feel like I would like to get his take on Eric. I would like to get his take on Sookie. I would like to get his take on how they brought Fae folk and other shapeshifters into the mix. And yeah, I just kind of wondered. Anyway, number 4, are you friends with any famous monsters? Like, don't you feel like he would have like a clique, like a group of friends that got over and I don't know, like watched movies or did gaming, and it would be like the Wolfman and like Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein and Dracula, and they'd all talk about, you know, what it's like to be a monster in today's society. I don't know, maybe I think a bit too much. At any rate, that was one of the questions. Oh, hold on guys, I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. My dog, Mr. Bear, his arch nemesis, Tony, the cat from the neighborhood, decided he was going to jump up on our deck and like literally come right next to the glass door and taunt him. So he could not, he lost it. Let's just say it. Anyway, number 5, what is your favorite vamp movie? I would want to know what his favorite vamp movie was and why. And that was my 5 questions for Dracula. Okay, day 21. Save the wrapper from candy and write about it. Now, I'm not a huge candy person, which, you know, is hard to say in my house because my boyfriend's family owned a candy store as he was born, raised for decades, for generations. They literally just sold it, you know, in the past decade, I'd say. And so he loves candy. I am a chocolate person, but I just don't buy things like that and bring them home. However, we did have some fortune cookies left over from some Chinese food, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try them. I'm not a huge fan of the cookie itself. I mean, they taste all right, but it's, you know, is it really worth the calories? But I love, 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 love the fortunes. So I took the 2 fortune cookies, and I did actually eat them because I felt like I had to for writing about them. And then I cut the cellophane and glued it to tags, and I thought it was kind of cool the way it turned out, actually, because it had like very fall colors and very Halloween-y colors, so I thought it turned out really nice. The 2 fortunes were including others in your life will bring great happiness, and listen to yourself more often. Yet 2 I wish kind of this week for me are contradictory. So, like I said, had a bad week. But at any rate, here is what I finished with the layout, day 21. And that would be what I considered my candy wrappers. So, that's the end for this week. Like I said, I still have this much to go, so I feel like my book is going to be like this at the end, but you know, it is what it is. And I can still squish it shut and tie it with the ribbon. There's still enough room because I put a ton of ribbon on it. At any rate, I appreciate if you guys have watched and are continuing to watch, and you know, I love the feedback. I appreciate everyone's been so kind, and I'm loving looking at other people's stuff and getting ideas. Yeah, this has been a really good experience for me, and I appreciate April for doing it. I would love it if someone did one of these for Christmas, because I have a much harder time with December than I do October, and a lot of people tend to make December dailies. I've tried before, did it for about a day or 2, made the whole book, and then did absolutely nothing. The only way that I'm able to apparently do something like this is if someone prompts me. But it's much appreciated. This is honestly the furthest I've ever gotten in a daily, and I really appreciate April for that. And also, I'd have to say, you know, the other people doing it, Vespa's been very instrumental, from Viniquities, I think her name. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to say it, and I don't want to butcher it. But she has been, yeah, she's been a huge inspiration to me on getting the daily going, and I watch her channel every day. So you guys should go check her out. She's also in the alternative scrapbooking, junk journal / whatever you want to call it, awesome people group. And anyway, so this is what I did this week. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope my next week is better, and you guys have really proven to be a great group of people for me. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.